Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on PS5. It's time for round 5 of Season 2. We're heading to Miami. So the first of our 3 American Grand Prix for this season is Miami. And yeah, what a season we're having so far. 4 wins from 4. 4 1-2s from 4. And a 1-2 in the sprint as well. We are really crushing the opposition this season, which is, every indication as to why we are going to leave Mercedes at the end of the year and go to a smaller team, because otherwise this series is going to become a bit boring. So let's see if we can continue George's march towards a title. He does still have a lead over Lewis, although Lewis did pick up the 1-2 wins in the sprint and the feature at Bahrain. So at Baku. So he has closed the gap just a little bit, but George still, with those 3 back-to-back wins for the first 3 races of the season, does still have a bit of a lead. As you can see, we're crushing Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. We are 88 points clear so far. And if we have a look at the drivers, there you can see Lewis is 13 points behind George, and comfortably ahead of Max and Checo in 3rd and 4th. So it's been a pretty easy start to the season. Ferrari are having a bit of a nightmare this year. I mean, not great results for Charles. It's been okay. Carlos has had an absolute nightmare. 2 9th place finishes in the first 2 races, and then both Ferraris took themselves out in the last race. Rule number 1 of Formula 1, you do not hit your teammate. And yeah, they adhered to that for about 10 laps and then gone. So not a great start to the season for Ferrari. How you doing, F1 Clips? Mr. Water, George, good to see you guys. Tevfik, Marcel, welcome. Right, I think we are ready to go straight in. Let's just have a quick look at our car analysis again, just to refresh where we are in terms of performance going into the Grand Prix. Our drivers do have slight variations in the car this weekend, I believe. Or have we been able to undo that? Let's have a look, actually. Can we undo those changes that we made? The quickest way to check is through the warehouse itself. I think... yeah, because we don't have enough parts here. Yeah, we did deliberately switch out the front wing situation, because we only one car only has the new spec front, the latest spec front wing, and the other car has the latest spec side pod to balance out, because we don't have enough parts yet. With the fire we had with our development centre shutting us down for 2 weeks, did unfortunately cause a bit of a bottleneck in getting our parts out, but we'll be able to rectify that after Miami, hopefully in time for the next race, which will be Imola. So let's go to our performance targets for tonight. The incentive is to get both cars into Q3. We should easily be able to do that. Let's see, the incentive for the finish position is 1 of the top 4. Again, should be straightforward. We do have a new finish position streak incentive. That is 1 in the top 6 for 2 races. That should be pretty straightforward and easy. So let's add in some guarantees. We're going to get both into the top 3. Both cars into Q2. For the race targets, we'll go for the fastest lap, and we are 1 away from completing our quali streak guarantee, which was 2 in the top 5 for 5 races. A successful result tonight will net us an extra 3.1 mil from that particular objective. Sasha's here as well. Welcome, Sasha. And Anthony, how are you? And Victor as well. Good to see you guys. Right. Performance targets are set. Let's head to Miami.
Once again, we touch down in Miami as F1 returns to the Magic City. We're in the state of year-round summer. The streets of Miami Gardens will come alive with the roar of racing, and the excitement is only just beginning. Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with the stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. Lewis Hamilton marked the previous race with yet another win and proved that he still has the tenacity to succeed in this sport. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
All right, yeah. So, having been beaten by George in the first 3 races, Lewis really turned on the form in the last race and was about 0.3 of a lap faster than George consistently every lap in the last race. Just was never really in trouble from him at all. So, will we see that kind of upturn in form continued here, or will George re-establish himself as the dominant driver of the two? Let's get the cars prepped and find out. We are going to put Teo back in the car tonight. Didn't run him at Baku because it was a sprint weekend. We're going to put him in for George. Let's see, we want to change the tyres onto softs. We're going to go, let's see, Miami is normally 17 laps, so we're going to go with 25 laps. That should be more than enough if we nail the setup first time. If not, we'll call him in early. Hamilton will do a more conventional 2-stage run, so 17 laps for him on hards, and then a change of setup if needed, and then another 17 laps. Are we going to swap out any car parts? I don't think there's anything that needs swapping yet. Still on the first gearbox, so yeah, nothing to change there. Alright, let's put some setups in. So, where shall we start? Let's go with a 7, a 13.5, 4.6, 3.35, and a 0. So there we go. That is Hamilton's car prepped, and now let's do George's car. We'll go for a little bit of variation on this one. We'll go 8 and 13, a 1.9. A 3.5 and a 0.65. There we go. So let's send them to the track.
Radio check.
Radio's loud and clear.
Radio check.
Copy, radio check, radio check.
Yeah, radio's loud and clear.
Pull to one side in places, that will help.
Understood.
Alright, there we go. They are off and running. How was Farah yesterday? Yeah, he was okay for a bit, and then once it became clear that Lewis was going to win, he kind of disappeared.
Temperature okay?
Just be mindful, pressure's still low.
Another hot night in the room tonight. It is very uncomfortable being here. Sweating buckets already. Have to turn the fan off because it's just too noisy, which means I'm going to sit here and just melt for the next 3 hours. The fan's going straight back on the second this stream is over. Evening, Andy. How you doing? Mission passed. Welcome. Don't recognise your name. Are you new?
Say what you'd like on the belts.
Well, there we go. We pretty much did nail Teo's setup first time out. 98% is just a minor little tweak. So we're just going to leave Teo on track for the whole run of 25 laps till we get his driver development points up to 1 from 0, and then that'll be it for Teo. So we've just got to focus on Lewis, who has a setup of 90%. So a little bit of tweaking needed there. Welcome to the little JVPG community, Mission Past. It's a small,
I don't know if I've got damage,
but friendly, jokey, and sometimes slightly sadistic community. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Lewis's run is almost done. And we need to change the roll bar. So let's go to a 3.7 and just see what that does. So the gearbox has finally warmed down. And Porsche has finished his driver development. So we'll call him in. And that is Teo done. Let's see what needs to be tweaked. It's just guessing the right way to go here. And I'm going to go there. Let's see if we're right on that in the next session when George gets in the car. You didn't know I hated Red Bull? Oh yeah, no, I don't like Red Bull. I don't like the way they treat anyone who's not their lead driver. You know, they did not treat Mark Webber well. They have not treated anyone who's partnered up with Max well at all. And prime example, Helmut Marko again coming out with ridiculously racist comments about Sergio Perez, suggesting that the reason he can't drive properly is because he's Mexican. It's just, he needs to go. He is a destroyer of young drivers' careers, is Helmut Marko. And, you know, he's a relic of a bygone era, and he needs to go.
Lewis, if you can give us a balance check.
All right, 89%. We actually made Lewis's car slightly worse. That's not so good. Yesterday's comments by Marko are not the first time that he has alluded to Perez's Mexican heritage being the reason why he's made mistakes and is not, on Max's level. It is frankly, pretty disgusting. All right, let's make those changes. See how they do in session 2. So George will be back in the car this time. Let's increase the run to... how do we want to run him? Go for 35 laps. Might not run him for all of that length of time, but we'll see how we go. Lewis, we're going to run for 25 laps on the mediums, and let's see if those changes work for both setups. Okay, Hamilton's engines gearboxes now also dipped below, so these will get swapped out for qualifying and the race, and will become a practice part from now on. Marco has said a lot in the past. He alluded to, if you remember, there was in Bahrain the missile strikes that were going on. Marco said that Perez shouldn't be worried about it because, because Mexico City is really violent as well. Perez isn't even from Mexico City, but that's beside the point. He suggested that he'd been up partying and drinking tequila, which is why he was asleep on a safety car restart. It's just, it's all passive aggressive racism from Marco. It's disgusting, and I cannot stand that man. I think he's a vile piece of crap.
Give us a balance check when you can.
Inu Barat, welcome. And Baron's here as well. Welcome, Baron. Right, so we got Lewis at 97%, still waiting on feedback from George. 95, so we went the wrong way with the tweak on George's car, but we can fix that afterwards. Thing is, and this is the thing as well, although he's very keenly associated with Red Bull, he doesn't actually work for Red Bull. He's an advisor from the parent company, so he's not actually part of the F1 team. So they can't necessarily just turn around and get rid of him. In that respect, it would have to come from upstairs.
We've had a big crash here, so we can have a bit of debris on track.
Is he okay?
Schumacher's had a big shunt somewhere.
Driver okay.
Right, what do we need to change? We figured out the front wing. It looks as though we are going to need to pull the camber back a bit. That might be what we need to do, actually. Looking at it, 97%. Yeah, let's try that.
So we've got VSC, VSC, Delta positive, VSC ending.
Yeah, going.
Right, how much longer do we keep Russell out for? We'll get him to a little over 50% and then we'll call him in. Oh, there we go. He's coming in anyway. Right, let's make those adjustments to Russell's setup. So that's where we were, so we want to go that way. Hope that that is everything we need. Andy says he's picking up a few tips, but only playing on 22. Well, yeah, I mean, like the core concept is exactly the same. The way the setups work is pretty much identical. Even some of the setup values, have carried across. They've probably expanded it a little bit to add a little bit more variety in there. But yeah, once you figure out how to adjust setups effectively, it doesn't take too much work to get a strong setup. If not necessarily getting 100 every time, you can certainly get it close. And then if you do what I do and write down your 100% setups when you earn them, you've got a really strong, solid list of starting points to choose from for the next time you race on that circuit. Right, so Sainz is coming to this Grand Prix with a penalty. That is a relic of the collision with Charles in Baku. So Carlos will be having a 3-place penalty for causing that collision. We're into final practice. We want soft tyres for Lewis this time. And we'll run him for 20 laps. And for George, we're going to run him for 30 laps on the mediums. Off we go. Been doing a lot of searching on YouTube for other tubers who play this game to see how they are approaching their campaigns, and I have to say I feel I'm in a very, very small minority of people who play the game as intended. I see so many people who immediately go straight to the database editor and change stats, or start swapping out liveries or changing driver rosters almost immediately. And then so many people who like to use any kind of glitch or cheat that they can. Oh, I'm going to use this setup calculator with my save file, so instant 100% setups. Or I'm going to run my cars on maximum tyre pace with the avoid all curbs so that I reduce tyre wear and gain about a second a lap in pace. It's just, that's not what that feature is for. It's a bug in the code. It's something that is under investigation with Frontier, but just so many people just try and find any way they can to cheese the game. And it's just, what is the point? I just don't understand the point of trying to, cheese the game. Where's the satisfaction of doing well if you're engineering that, rather than reacting to what's actually happening in the race? It boggles my mind. Right, we didn't get there with Lewis. We are a little short, so we're going to call him in and make a tweak. what do we need to change? Oh, a couple of things by the look of it. All right, we're going to have to see how we can address this. So that's my 97. Alright, let's just try doing that then. See if that works. Might do it. Send Lewis back out. What upgrades and staff should you focus on with Merc? Well, I kept the same staff for the first season. I looked at replacing staff for season 2, not expecting the car to be as competitive as it ended up being. As far as upgrades, I tried to improve the acceleration. I tried to take some drag off the car. Tried to work on the cooling a bit as well. But it's just chipping away, finding where your car is weakest, and then just working on improving those areas without, cancelling out the good work that is already in your car in other areas. So it's all very well going, okay, I'm really crap at, say, low speed downforce, so I'm going to throw everything into that, and as a result it's going to actually start decreasing my medium downforce a little bit, my high speed downforce a lot. You want to try and bring up the low speed without really having too much of a ideally without having any negative impact on your other areas of downforce. Otherwise, your car is just flip-flopping from one characteristic to the other without being good all round. There's no exact science. It's just something that comes with practice and experience. You can see which areas need the most work and instinctively know what kind of upgrades you want to try and put on to try and counteract those. I mean, if you want to be sort of investigative, you can always go back through this series and have a look at the upgrades that I created in my first season to see how I got the car to where it was at the end of the season, which was mighty. But, we needed a bit of luck in some places as well to get where we did. But, the car this year is easily the best car on the grid. Thanks to, again, the research that we did in preparation for this season, and then the upgrades we brought in pre-season before Bahrain as well. Aaron says I picked up a crazy amount of useful tips from watching my streams. Yeah, just pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't want to give people a definitive blueprint. And there was a very easy way, a very definitive blueprint of how to improve your car performance to become a monster car in the previous game, which immediately takes all the fun out of the game because it becomes way too easy. So I actively avoided telling people how to do it in the last game. This one, I don't know if it's quite so clear cut. I don't really have a lot of multiple season experience under my belt with this game yet. I've got a season done on the PS4 version, about a season and a half done on the PS4 with the Red Bull file, which was just to get the platinum, and that's now been deleted off the hard drive. With the PS4 game, deleted it, don't need it anymore. We've done a season with this. I've almost completed my first season on an alpha playthrough, and while the car isn't great, it's good enough for me to have 8th place in the constructors. I got high confidence from the board, haven't gone into debt, and it's building a starting point for hopefully a run at slightly more frequent points next season. But I don't think I'm going to be mega competitive next season with Alpha. Big Roller says that's with every game you hate it. Instead of learning how to find the easiest ways off of YouTube and try to cheat a victory, can't think for myself. Yeah, I mean, there's an element to that. I mean, I can definitely relate to that as far as Aliens Fireteam Elite goes. There is a meta of just hiding in doorways and funneling enemies to you, and there are instances where that is kind of a necessity. There are other areas where it's just a lazy ploy. You know, I don't have a problem with people doing it when they're first learning the difficulty, because it can be a big step up when you get to insanity, you know, the insane difficulty. But going beyond that, still not quite there. Let's try it. See what happens. Might actually take him below 97. We can always revert. Well, no, I can't revert back. But it's something I did at first while I was learning the difficulty, learning the spawns, and now I actually go out into the rooms and I fight in the rooms. And whenever I'm playing with randoms, I just hear this, you know, hey, check this, over here, constantly on the in-game emoting, you know, communication of people just hiding in doorways wanting me to come back. It's like, no, I'm good enough to fight the game the way it was intended. I'm not going to hide in doorways. But too many people, they play the game trying to make it as easy as possible rather than playing the game to enjoy the game. And I don't see the enjoyment of, you know, finding that spot on the map where the enemies can't get to you so that you can just shoot them with impunity and not take any damage. You know, why play the game if you're relying on glitches like that? It's just, again, I don't see how anyone can gain a sense of fulfillment from that, but apparently people can, because they do it a lot. Andy says he's just getting the hang of the setups, but the Merc is still 6 cents off. Yeah, it will be to start with. That's about right. You know, with some upgrades and, you know, a little bit of luck, you'll be knocking on the door of podiums and possibly a win by the end of the season. If you're still learning, if you know what you're doing, then you can start challenging for wins earlier than that. We are done with practice. Those changes we've made to Hamilton's car, we won't get to give him a shakedown till qualifying, which is up next. There we go. So we're close on car part knowledge to maxing that out now for George, 97%. That's good. Going in with lots of confidence. We can ignore Lewis's confidence. That will reset once we get into quali. It's because he has an unknown value for the setup.
Will practice pay off for the drivers? Well, we're about to find out in qualifying.
Drivers need to get into Q3 if they want to make the top half of the grid. With only 10 slots available, it's a fight nobody wants to lose.
In terms of George Russell and his form, Karun, how's he going to be feeling, do you imagine?
It's obvious that they're feeling confident today, and that's sure to be an advantage. I'm keen to see what they'll manage here.
So get yourselves comfortable. It's going to be quite the ride.
Okay, we've got to swap out the used parts. The engines have dipped below now as well. But we're going to keep those in, I think. Yeah, we'll keep those in for this race. We will keep the ERS units, but we will switch out the gearboxes. So we'll have a little bit of acceleration loss from the engine, but nothing too dramatic. It would be compounded if we kept the gearboxes in as well, but they'll be fine for one more race, those engines. And then we'll swap them out for Imola. Let's see. We want to go one flying lap in practice. Sorry, in qualifying one. We are good to go. Evening, Sir Adam. Alright, so we have a McLaren, I think. Nope, not a McLaren, it's Hulkenberg. Oh, of course it's Hulkenberg. Well, at least it's in front of us and not right behind us, ready to torpedo us.
Understood.
We should do some work on the brakes.
Copy.
Well, the loving has started already. Right, so who do we think is going to be top dog for Mercedes tonight? Do we think it's going to be George? Do we think it's going to be Lewis? Let me know in the comments. It's Hulky, not Kvyat. I'm sure he won't torpedo. Oh, you have you have no idea just how dangerous Hulkenberg is in this game. He crashes into things a lot.
Circuit's all clear.
Alright, Lewis winds up,
So
starts
good to
his
go.
flying lap. Now
All
George
clear
does
ahead.
the same.
Good to go.
It's very diplomatic of you there, Farah. We've got some traffic. It's Magnussen. We've just gone past. Okay, purple in the first for Lewis. Russell green. Let's see, is George going to get caught up? Remember, we do have a slight difference in our cars tonight. One is running a different spec of side pod to the other, and the other one is running a different spec of wing on the front. Simply because we didn't have enough side pods available. So to balance that out a little bit, we downgraded one of them, the other car, onto the previous spec of
Staying
wings,
tight on that delta.
so that we had a spare
So
front
just
wing
confirming
as well,
passing and back into the garage.
Understood.
just in case anything goes a bit wonky.
And
This
just get
weekend.
that delta negative. And we will box end of this lap.
All right, 4/10. Okay, that's potentially down to the parts. I'm trying to remember who's got the side pod and who's got the wing. Let's have a look. So Lewis has got the old wing and the new side pod, which means Russell should have the opposite. Yeah, he's got the new wing and the old side pod. So maybe the side pod is providing a little bit more of the speed boost than the wing is. Ocon is looking quick again. And Stroll's looking pretty quick and pretty handy as well, and Alonso. Remember, Stroll always seems to get the upgrades over Alonso if there is... because Stroll is in car number 1. So if ever there's only one new part available, it'll go to Stroll over Alonso. I've seen plenty of times where Alonso's had a car that's been awful in terms of performance, and then you look at Stroll's car and it's night and day. You know, it's like one of the best cars on the grid. It's crazy. Right. We can check in on the setup for Lewis as well, see if we actually knocked that out as 100. Yes, we did. We did get that spot on. Excellent stuff. Second run, we're going to go with the same tyres. And once again, we're just going to do a single lap. We just need to get through. Oh, actually, Q1 was 9th. Alright, okay, in that case, let's do 2 laps just to make sure we can get both of our guys through. There we go. So again, we're just looking to get through. We're not looking to blitz the timing boards, but we do want to make sure we get through. And George goes purple this time. Very close between the two. I don't know what the difference is. We'll have to wait till they start their flying lap. Oh, look at that. Less than 500ths of a second between the two of them. Although George might have had a little bit of a hold-up from Gasly in Sector 1 there. Yeah, he didn't improve. But this will be enough to get both drivers through. And wow! What a time from Max.
Peter,
Where did that come from?
okay, so we're happy with that lap. Okay, let's call the car and we'll box.
Max suddenly pulls out half a second on us. Okay.
So that's
maybe the decision to stick
P3.
with these engines for this Grand Prix
Yeah, we're
was
happy with
not
that.
necessarily the smartest one. Let's take a sneak peek. Is he running a new engine? No, he's not. So it's just a bloody good lap. His engine is in better nick than ours, though. Not by much. But enough. Right. Q3, here we go, the all-important session. So, we're going to do 1 lap on these scrubbed tyres. And then we'll do a 2-lap run on new tyres. Send George out first. Apparently we're going to send him out after the Red Bulls. Wow, everyone's piling out straight away. It's unusual to see that many cars get out ahead of me at the start of a session.
Wake up those rear brakes.
Tommy. Let's just focus.
This
on
might work
the outline.
quite nicely for George, even though these are essentially going to be banker laps. We should improve on new tyres. We've got the option of maybe picking up a bit of a tow off the back of Perez. Russell here. Lewis a little bit too far back off of Stroll to get a tow from him. Of course, there's every chance we might potentially give a tow to Ocon. I'm assuming that's Ocon behind me. Yeah, Gasly hasn't left the garage yet. It's motion sickness time. Or maybe not. Go on, George, have a little wiggle. There you go.
All clear ahead.
Alright, so riding Russell Vision for the first of the flying laps tonight in Q3.
Circuit's all clear. Good to go.
Again, we're not expecting to top the leaderboards on this set of tyres because they are quite worn. We're simply looking to build the base confidence level from its starting point to closer towards peak. And we'll do that just by setting personal best sectors. Oh, we've got a red flag. Someone has crashed in a big way. And I'm not sure who.
Here we are down at turn 7.
Oh, it's Lewis.
The car makes
Oh,
contact.
Lewis is out.
Well, following a crash like that, it'll be important now to ensure that any
Well, there goes
debris
our streak.
is cleared
There goes
from
our
the
quality
scene.
streak of getting 2 in the top 10. No, sorry, 2 in the top 5 for 5 races. And that's just cost us potentially... Well, it's going to actually physically cost us probably about 600 grand, 700 grand, but it's cost us 3.1 in sponsorship money. Oh, that is bad. So Lewis is going to start P10. I can hear Farah cheering from here. How bad is the damage going to be to that car? I'm glad I didn't put a brand new engine in now. Does the AI adjust its strategy as the year seasons go along? What, in terms of race strategy? Yeah, they can react a little bit. They don't react in the same way that a human will react, but they do have a bit more awareness of things like safety cars and stuff. So you will see them make some changes to their strategy as events unfold. But if they overwork their tyres, rather than maybe boxing and switching to a different tyre compound strategy, they're more likely they will just back off and really cool the tyres and pace right down. All right, so we are skipping the skipping the banker lap. We're going straight to 2 laps on new tyres. And we'll be going out with about 6 minutes to go. We are potentially going to have traffic issues. Which isn't great. So it's by no means certain that we are going to get George on pole here. But yeah, we're going to lose out a lot of money from the sponsors today. Alright, we've got that just in front of the Ferrari. That is important because we are faster than the Ferrari.
Oh, that's critical.
Yep, fine.
The worrying thing about that crash is also what parts have been, aero parts have been damaged. If we don't have a spare, we are going to be forced, because we're in parc fermé conditions now, we're going to be forced to emergency manufacture replacements if we don't have any of the same spec available. We can't go back to a previous spec of parts. So if we have... Farah F was AFK and is going to rewind. If we only have, for example, one front wing available in the current spec and we break it, then we have to emergency manufacture a new one. We can't downgrade to the previous spec where we might have 3 or 4 of those available once we start qualifying. You can make whatever changes you want right up to the point that the car leaves the garage for the first time in qualifying. And then from that point on, you're locked to the spec of parts that you've got on the car. You can still change your engine, your gearbox, your ERS unit, and you can make adjustments to the front wing angle only. Everything else is locked down. So here we go then, George on his first flying lap. You can see his confidence has already improved. Just from going faster in sectors 2 and 3. Did not improve in sector 1. That's interesting. A little bit of traffic won't cause a problem. Purple in the middle sector, that's encouraging. Right, it's all down to the middle, to the final sector. And then we'll have a cool down lap and we'll go again. Okay, we did not get pole. I am surprised by that. A 128.6 isn't amazingly quick. We did a 128.8. Okay, well hopefully we can improve on the next lap. In a VXR, the title race takes another turn. Well, yes, potentially. George has the opportunity to scamper off into the distance while we have to micromanage Lewis's, way through the 9 cars that are going to be in front of him. I've just realised Sainz is not in the top 10. Sainz didn't get through, so he is going to start even further down. If he's 11th, for example, he's got that 3-place penalty from Baku, don't forget, carrying over, so that's going to put him down to 14th. So yeah, not a good weekend for Stroll. Sorry, for Sainz again. Right, we're going to wind up to start the second flying lap very soon. Hopefully that Red Bull will get out of the way, because that's going to be going into the pits.
Track is all clear. Good to go.
Or maybe he's going for another lap. Looks like he is. Okay. Come on, George. No Alonso in the top 10 as well. Yeah, that's surprising. He was looking pretty quick in practice. And in Q1 he was pretty quick as well. Can I put Lewis on the new wing because he's P10? No, as I just said, I can't swap parts now. I can replace parts like for like, but I can't swap specification of parts once we leave the garage for the first time in qualifying, in Q1. From that point onwards, we're locked in part fairness. The only changes we can make are the gearbox, the engine, the ERS unit, and adjustments to the front wing angle. But both Williams cars are in. Yes, Williams have been looking quite tasty at times, last season and this season. We are purple in the middle sector. This is an improvement, and we've got a nice meaty slipstream all the way down this back straight here. That's Perez in front of us, so we're going to see him shoot up the leaderboard. Perez goes to fourth. We close the gap to Verstappen, but we can't beat him, so we're starting P2. Leclerc is P3, Perez P4, Stroll in P5, then Tsunoda, then Albon, Gasly, Ocon, and the crashed Lewis Hamilton brings up the end of the top 10.
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
The Miami Grand Prix arrived onto the calendar in 2022 with much fanfare, and F1 history is still very much being written here. Drivers have to take chances around the street circuit and hope those chances turn into victory.
Lewis there, getting himself ready for today's race. Karun, how's he going to be feeling at the moment, do you think?
They don't seem to be getting the best from the car right now, to be honest. Not sure if it's the balance or just an issue with confidence, but something needs to change.
The Autodrome is ready for some serious action today, here at the Miami Grand Prix.
How often do drivers make mistakes? It depends on the driver. The really good ones, not very often. Also depends on the car as well. And what condition the tyres are in. Track conditions can play a part as well. But yeah, generally, the very good drivers will make less mistakes. That's the first mistake Lewis has made for a very long time for us. I think the last time he had a crash that took him out, I think it was, I don't know if that was the only time he's actually crashed his car and not been able to continue. Right, what parts are missing? Let's have a look. Oh, that's a lot. Oh. Well, that practice gearbox is now a dead gearbox. The ERS took a massive whack. That's gone down from, 55% to 12%. The engine has lost another 30% of its power. Oh, boy. And I've got to replace the chassis, the front wing, the rear wing, and the suspension. I don't know if I've got parts for all of those bits. I think I've got the front wing with no issues. Let's see. Oh, I've got spare chassis, so let's go ahead and install that. We're on the older spec of front wing. Oh, no, we're not. We're on the new spec of front wing. Crap. So I have to emergency manufacture, and that's going to cost me $900,000 for one wing. The wing itself is cheap, $225, and then it's $675K to emergency manufacture it and get it shipped over in time for the start of the Grand Prix. Alright, it says adjustments. Why won't it let me put the part on? What? So it... Alright, so the game has gone a little bit wrong here because it made me emergency manufacture of that Mark III wing and then wouldn't let me put it back on the car. I think That's the new front wing that we hadn't got ready yet anyway. I think that's the wing that Lewis was supposed to be on anyway. So, no, I was going to say I'm going to roll back just the last minute or so I can undo that purchase, but I'll just take that on the chin. It's not the first time I've made a mistake with front wings this season, as you can see by the fact that we now have 7 spare front wings of the Mark 1. So yeah, that was a little bit careless. That was a very expensive prototype front wing, which will be on the car in Imola, which was always the plan anyway. I've got plenty of rear wings, so let's go ahead and stick one of those on. Have I got a suspension? No. I can't put on the old spec either because of the part Fairmode rules, so I'm going to have to emergency manufacture a new suspension. That's another 1.2 million. Ugh. Now I can install that. There we go. Very expensive. And I've got to swap out the engine. I was going to run the old one. Not a chance now. Can't run the old ERS unit, so we're already looking at taking an ERS penalty for Lewis at some point this season. And a new gearbox. Oh, it was already a new... I killed a brand new gearbox. I don't remember changing the gearbox. I thought no, I changed the gearboxes. I left the engines. Okay. Well, luckily we've not been as reckless with our spending this season as compared to last, so we can afford to take that hit that on the chin, as long as we don't do that too often. We're going to start Lewis on a slightly more conservative setup. No, sorry, strategy, I think, possibly. With George, we're going to go a bit more aggressive off the line, I think. We'll go soft, medium, soft. Although, can I possibly stretch that to a one-stop? If I look after the tyres, I can. It's a bit of a risk. What about if I go like that? Okay. Just trying out different combinations to see where I can make back that time. That's 4 seconds slower. I'm not sure if I want to go with the one stop or go with the two stop. Two stop is going to give me better tyre wear. It's going to give me multiple chances to get a fast pit stop for the pit stop award, and it is going to be slightly quicker, but by the same token, traffic can cause havoc with slowing me down and negating the benefit of a faster strategy. And there's more chance of something going wrong at a pit stop if there are more pit stops. So I think with George, I'm going to play it safe. We're going to put him on the one stop. Let's see. Let's take 4 laps of fuel out. We'll start him aggressive. For Lewis, we are going to go with the more aggressive two-stop strategy because we need to cut him through the field, which means we're going to have to push the tyres harder. So having more fresh rubber available will be very useful in that respect. It means Lewis is likely to get the fastest lap over George, but that is okay. And we're going to go very aggressive with Lewis at the start on his tyres. I'm just going to take 3 laps of fuel out. Alright. Is it not allowed to in park fairway to change wings? Only if you've got the same spec available. You know, if you don't have the same spec of wing, then no. Wow, that expensive. Yes, emergency manufacturing in F1 Manager 23 is very expensive. How you doing, Niels? Good to see you. Right, let's go to the grid for the Miami Grand Prix.
57 laps await our competitors here in Miami, so may the best driver win. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
They're in second place on the grid, but that could so easily change in the first few seconds after lights out.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Here we go with the Miami Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Alright, so the plan is to push George really hard at the start, just to make sure he does not get dropped by Max, who is on soft. So Max possibly two-stopping. We want to make sure we stay with him in these early laps where he's going to be very quick. Hamilton, we are pushing hard on tyre and fuel, but we are not using the battery just yet. We're going to save that for the first couple of laps, use the natural pace advantage of his car to stay in touch, and then use the DRS and battery in combination to start making those overtakes. The second lap. Or at least that's the plan anyway, so yeah, plans change. Are the medium runners between the two drivers.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Glazing.
Okay, so head down now.
Right, Magnussen's just overtaken Lewis. That's not ideal,
Coast in turn 1.
but I kind of expected at least one car to get past him. As long as he maintains touch, that's the important thing.
Push and hold it, overtake.
Copy.
And we'll push.
Understood.
Alright, we've got a little bit of spare battery against Max potentially, so we should be able to get back into DRS range before, I hope, the first DRS straight. And now we're going to start pushing Lewis.
DRS has been enabled. Currently P11. So you've got Max.
And there we go,
there.
Russell is back in range.
Hulkenberg is the car behind.
Not Hulkenberg, sorry.
Use the overtake.
Russell is back in range of Max. So we can start calming Russell down in a moment. Would like to break away from Perez if I can. There we go, that looks to be done. Let's go into top-up mode. Let's drop the pace down. I'm not going to go into full fuel save just yet.
Just reduce your speed.
Copy.
Hamilton looking for a lunge up the inside. Gets the move done. We have dropped Perez. Right, can we get a move done on Gasly here? Sold him a dummy. Faded inside and then switch back to the outside. Can we get him under braking here?
That was a nice move.
Russell has the lead. Very nice.
Good.
Right, let's put Russell into fuel save. Hamilton should have battery here to spare. And does. Verstappen has retaken Russell. Not surprising. Tyres are coming down in temperature. That's good. Now it's time for us to start calming Lewis's tyres down.
Make sure to keep these tyres in good nick.
Yep.
When I play, do I play in real time or do I do 16 times? For the streams, I always play in real time. When I'm playing my own file, I don't tend to go 16 times. I do tend to run usually at 2 times. Sometimes I go to 4, occasionally 8. It depends on what I'm running, but usually I run at 2 times. We're not getting through here, so we're going to go into harvest mode.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Russell has dropped off the back. That was a worry. Let's turn off the fuel save, up the tyre pace, see if we can get back in again. Use what little battery we've got as well. See if we can launch back in the DRS on the backside of the circuit. It'll also help hold off Perez as well, who has caught us back up again. Stroll in 4th right now, Tsunoda 5th, Leclerc 6th, Albon in 7th, then it's Ocon, then Hamilton in 9th. We've dropped just about Gasly. Let's see, Alonso's in 12th, Sainz is in 14th. Norris is all the way down in 20th. Oh, it's looking more and more like McLaren might be the team for us to rescue. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze Ocon here on the acceleration. Alright, we're back in range, just. But we're not going to have any battery for this next corner.
So you can pick up the pace.
Hamilton is selling a dummy to Albon, who does not have DRS, so we should complete this move around here and make that look nice and easy.
So there's no battery.
I don't think we got into DRS range. Oh no, we did, just.
Don't think about getting the pack back up.
So we're just about on the back of Leclerc now. Good,
Yeah, we
good.
just need to make sure that
Russell is back in range of Max. We need to stay with him while those softs are fast, so that we can get past him when the softs are not fast. Try and do a bit more fuel saving again. This is a risk, because last time we did this, we got dropped. And Hamilton looking to pull the same move he did to Ocon on Leclerc. This time it's Tsunoda who's not going to have the DRS. So again, we're going to try and maybe sell him a dummy. He's already gone defensive. Oh, that's a lunge from Charles Leclerc there under braking. What a lunge. But we've got him on the acceleration out of that corner as we go through the final turn. And we'll have the inside line for the braking. And there we go, we tuck in. So we should get Yuki on this next straight, and then we can start closing in on Stroll. We've got a lot of work to do. It's not just a case of getting past these guys and onto the back of Russell. We need to get ahead of Russell, and ideally in front of Verstappen, because we have 2 more stops to make with Hamilton. We've only got 1 to make with Max Russell. Max may one-stop this. He may be going soft, straight to hard. So that's why we need to make sure we're in front of him and pulling away from him.
Got every chance here.
Meanwhile, Russell is tucking in nicely at the moment, staying with Max, saving some fuel, slowly building the battery back up. And here comes Lewis. Going to make a move on Yuki. Feints left, makes Yuki go defensive, goes straight around the outside of him. Now he's got to hold him back in the braking zone. And does. Right, next up is Stroll. And we have dropped Perez again. So not only do we have a very, very quick car, but we've also probably got the best engine on the grid now that we've switched Lewis over, seeing as he down there totaled the other one. That's a hell of a shunt to do that much damage to the car. Take a look at tyres. So there you can see, despite pushing Hamilton's tyres really hard at the start, his tyres are still slightly better than Max's. That's encouraging. Perez is dropping further behind. This is why it was so important for us to get Russell into Verstappen's slipstream so that he can run at soft, higher pace on mediums, as opposed to running at just straight medium pace and letting Max build a gap. This way, if Max is two-stopping, this puts him at a massive disadvantage because he's going to have to catch up the 20+ seconds from the first stop and then do it again on his second stop. Lewis just swoops around the outside of Stroll. Now this will leave him a little vulnerable on the next straight, so we're going to give him some tyres and battery and take the fuel save off for a second.
Executed. And think about left lifting coast. Use the overtake.
So that we can counter Stroll's DRS. We've got him at arm's reach at the moment. If we can get a good launch here, we might not let him get the DRS in the next section, which is there. It's close. It's going to be very close. Stroll did not get the DRS. We did break away from him, so we can go back into top up. We can go back into standard. Drop the conserve back on. We've broken away from Lance, and it's time to hunt down Checo. Who, if you were to ask Helmut Marko, would say he's obviously falling behind Russell because he's too busy beating people. Going to try just saving a little bit of extra tyre.
Let's just manage these tyres.
On Russell at the same time as the fuel. This is a risk. But if we can do this, then that'll put us in really strong shape for the one-stop strategy. Colin, I didn't see you pop in. Welcome. Let's just check in on George. We shouldn't have to worry about the tyres getting too cold as long as he's running in the wheel tracks of Max like this. The dirty air will help keep the tyres hotter. So they should stay in the operating window even though we are running them at sub-optimal pace. Which means they'll keep their pace up a little bit better and we'll still save on a bit of wear and tear. Right, these failed overtakes are hurting his confidence, so I'm going to drop him to low overtake aggression while we're in saving mode like this.
Be careful with the car.
Yeah, Roger.
We're not trying to overtake at the moment, not yet. We're just trying to stay with him. Although Max's tyres are reaching the point where his pace will start dropping off soon, so we will need to think about making a move in the next couple of laps. Meanwhile, Hamilton is closing. Probably think about trying to save some battery here as well. So we're really slapping on the recharge for Russell here. Need the battery so that we can sprint past Max and away from him when we do make the overtake. Lewis almost in DRS range of Perez. And this little twiggy bit coming up is the risk. Oh, we've got a safety car. Okay, so we are going to bring Lewis in early. He's already in peak confidence. We are going to amend his strategy. So we're going to bring... Oops. That side, there we go. We're going to bring him in now. And... we'll look to run him to lap 38 and go on to softs, but we can always change that to another set of mediums if we burn through those new tyres too quickly. Let's call Lewis in. This is going to sort our fuel issues out for both drivers nicely and get our batteries back up nicely.
There's been a crash.
Oh, and Sainz's afternoon goes from bad to worse. He's crashed at the same spot that did so much damage. Oh, wow, yeah, that is...
Yeah, he lost the car.
That's a problem. That's definitely not good. That's the same corner that Hamilton crashed on in qualifying, with a slightly more explosive outcome. So, is Max going to take this opportunity to box? I would imagine he probably would. We will have a lap to respond with Russell, I hope, if Max does box. And he is boxing. Obviously we know Hamilton's boxing, because we just issued that control. Let's see what tyres Max goes on to. Oh, he got held, waiting for Lewis to go through. That's nice. A slow stop. Oh, come on. 3.8 seconds.
Sorry about that, Lewis.
Right, Max has gone on to medium, so Max is definitely two-stopping. Quite a few cars are stopping. So, do I stick to the one-stop strategy? Two-stop is going to be quicker. Let's have a look. So, what if I went onto a set of mediums and basically put him on the same strategy that Lewis is on now? Okay, what about, because I started on mediums, what about if I went soft? That's a 129.01. Yeah, this is going to be quicker. Not by much. So that's a 129.0. I think I'm going to stick to the one stop. We'll keep track position with George. We're saving tyre wear right now. We haven't got to worry about trying to break away from Max and burning the tyres up to do it. We're saving a good chunk of fuel right now. We can just stay out on track, keep track position, switch to the hards, and while we won't necessarily be, stellar in terms of lap times, they'll be consistent and they'll still be quick. And those softs will be durable. Sorry, those hards will be durable. George is back. What happened? Sainz binned it on the same corner that Hamilton did in qualifying and set his car on fire. Right, VSC is ending. Let's go into top-up mode. Balance.
Yeah, agree.
Just push.
Keep the fuel save going. There we go. Back under green flags. So, that's what the tyre situation looks like now for everybody. I'm surprised Perez didn't go into the garage, which means... to me, that suggests that Perez and Stroll and Norris are going to go for a one-stop, softs to hards. Given that all the other guys who were on softs and boxed for mediums have converted onto, well, yeah, if they hadn't necessarily converted, they were on a two-stop, same as Hamilton. Perez, Stroll, and Norris still have some decent life left in those softs, so they're going to look to extend for another 6 to 8 laps, I would imagine, and then probably box around lap 21, 22, maybe, for a set of hard tyres. Possibly they might even try and go for a soft to medium. Could be a little extreme, but not impossible. Perez is pushing right now to catch up. He has done. It's alright. We'll let him burn those tyres up. Stay in his slipstream to get the benefit, and then we'll re-overtake him.
Really?
We're going to get the fuel down to about 1.5 kilos, and then we're going to turn the fuel save off. Everyone is pushing because it's the restart. We will just bide our time, be a little patient, and then we'll push back.
Push and hold, overtake.
Coming.
We didn't quite get back into DRS for this straight here, but we'll definitely have it on the next one. Hamilton's starting to close down Alonso now. It's taken about a second out of him on that last lap. Those new tyres starting to warm up nicely. Gasly is holding up Verstappen for us at the moment. That's who Hamilton's in competition with tonight, is Max. And Perez boxes. So, is he going hard tyres? If he's not, he's not. He's going soft again, so he is two-stopping. And it's a slow stop. Problem with the jacks. No one else in the garage. No one else in the pit lane to get him held there. So that is a problem with the mechanics. Alright, well that makes things much easier for George. So we can focus on Lewis for a bit now.
We can drop the lift and coast for now and pick it up later.
Understood.
Use the overtake.
Yuki overtakes Leclerc for third. Yuki's on the podium. Well, he was, briefly. Charles said, nope, enough of that. Slapped him back down again. We are going to absolutely fly past Alonso on this back straight. Go straight after Max and Gasly and Ocon and Albon. That's a bit of a train in front of us. We'll try and carve our way through that as quickly and efficiently as possible here. We'll do it from the ham cam. Not getting through this time. Alonso, the wily old fox that he is, just blocking us off there. Okay, let's
just charge the
rebuild that battery for a moment.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off the cliff on that tyre.
Yep.
Right. We're right on his gearbox, and we've got the DRS this and that. We should get him here if we can get the move done cleanly. No, Alonso is defending it again.
So anything could happen, Lewis.
Perez is behind us on soft tyres. He's going to be looking to close that down. Let's get Lewis into clean air. Can't get the move done here. Let's go for it. There we go. Got the move done on Alonso this time. Took a little bit more time than I would have liked, but we got it done. Let's immediately start recharging that battery again.
Let's think about getting the pack back up.
Only moved up one place. And there we go, he's making a move on Albon.
Keep the pressure on Lewis, you can do this.
Let's go really aggressive here because Perez is coming. Right, we're alongside Gasly, so we should get the move done on the inside here. Use the battery to accelerate and get into a position to have a move on Albon as well. Verstappen has already got past Ocon. And that is us making a move on Alex. There we go. Hamilton is maxed out on confidence right now, which is excellent stuff. We are already all over the back of Ocon, ready to have a lunge.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
On the next DRS straight, and then we'll be onto the back of Verstappen. Ocon is out of DRS range already. He is vulnerable. Pushing these tyres hard here, but we need to get this move done quickly. There we go, straight up the inside. Let's immediately put the battery back into full deployment so we can go hunting after Max, who is charging onto the back of Tsunoda. Looks like Leclerc is trying to break away from him as well. Tsunoda's tyres just falling apart. No, it's just like Leclerc's trying to break away.
So just charge that pack. Just need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Alright, there we go. Mission accomplished. Put Hamilton up nicely. Is my audio off or something? No, I'm still talking. Can you not hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? I wasn't muted, as my audio is not working. No, everything okay with Andy? Good, good, good. Okay, we've got a yellow flag. Albon has crashed. Oh, he kind of just got squeezed against the barrier there.
Sorry, guys.
Perez did him dirty. But no contact, so no penalty. But we have got DRS. Ooh, okay. Do I pull George in now? I think I kind of have to. It's a little earlier than I would like, but well, the amount of time we'll save making a VSC pit stop over a regular time one is huge. It's too early to box Lewis, unless I were to put him on hards, and that would just kill him, you know, given where he is on track right now. All right, back into saving modes. And let's box George. Did we catch him in just in time? We did. Oh, we caught that just
Safety
in
car,
time.
safety car.
Oh, it's a full safety car.
Stay tight on that delta.
Ooh, okay.
Just try and keep as much temp as possible.
Everyone's going to dive into the pits. So Russell is going to keep the lead here.
So the stops are starting to happen.
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. There's Max and Lewis. That's worked out beautifully for Russell. It's a full-on safety car as well, so we've got 2 or 3 laps like this. Oh, and Yuki has a pit stop issue. He's been running so well.
Ready here. But hang on, there's the reason for the hold-up.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been. I've seen some wheels get so stuck that it takes like 10 seconds to get the wheel off. That wasn't too bad. That only cost him an extra couple of seconds. Could have been a lot worse, but where's he come out? He's come out in 6th, so he's still behind Leclerc. Issue from Magnussen as well.
This was Kevin Magnussen pitting.
And this wheel won't go on.
Left that's gone too loose though.
That was worse than Yuki. Alright, so fuel issues taken care of. Battery issues taken care of. Tyre temps will be a little iffy. I'm going to tell Lewis to... No, not Lewis, sorry. I'm going to tell George not to fight Lewis, because they are on completely different strategies. Lewis still has another stop to make. Max behind still has another stop to make. So the trick is going to be to get Lewis ahead of Max if we can before we get to George. And then for George to pull over, let Lewis through and not let Max through at the same time. And then we can try and hold up Max while Lewis breaks away a little bit. Or at the very least, overheat Max's tyres while he tries to find a way through. Not even halfway yet. Lap 22. Halfway point will be lap 28.5. So let's see what everyone else is doing tyre-wise. I think a lot of the grid's going to be on a one-stop. Well, it's going to be going to the end now. So Bottas is going to need to box again. Perez might be able to go to the end, because he's changed tyres again, by the look of it. Hulkenberg's going to need to stop again. Norris, I think he's going to need to stop again. Everyone who's on hards is going to the end. Take a look at tyre history. Yeah, Perez is going to try and go to the end, I think. Surprised he didn't go for hard tyres. Wi-Fi plug-in. Oh, can't help you with that, unfortunately, dude. You may be panicked that my microphone is broken. Got at least one more lap of the safety car. Grundle needs to be implemented into the game. Well, yes and no. The commentary does need to be improved, but it can't be full-on race commentary. Well, this is working wonders for George's tyres. Running at this pace. This is going to allow him to just stretch the life of these hards that little bit more. Look how much spare fuel we're getting on board as well here. So we'll be able to really push fuel. see how much the AI's got in comparison. So we're running at about, what, 63 kilos of fuel. Let's have a look at, Max. Max is running with about the same. A little bit more fuel than us, but not by much. Starting to worry a little bit about Lewis getting second place. Nope, safety car is coming in.
Safety car is in this lap.
Happy to start reducing that, management.
Copy.
All right, here we go.
So let's get after it.
So ideally we want to get past Max. And then get past Russell without Max getting past Russell. That would be the ideal
So the safety car
situation
lights
here.
have gone out.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not. We don't have to worry about Stroll and Leclerc. We should hopefully be able to drop away from them relatively quickly. We've got 2 laps until DRS comes back in. So it's raw pace at the moment. And we've almost gapped Stroll already. Need a good launch. New fastest lap for Russell. That won't last. When Lewis gets onto a set of softs, he'll blitz that. There's every chance Max might blitz it as well. Alright, looks like Verstappen might be potentially out of battery. I'd be surprised if he is. No, he's still got battery. But we are definitely getting the better acceleration here. Go on. Lunge. Lunge. Ah, not quite. Did Max turn his deployment off briefly for a moment then? Alright, we need to get this move done. No! Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Alright.
DRS has been enabled.
That's unfortunate. But if we can keep Russell with us now.
Just do what you can.
And if we could just drop back a bit. Copy.
This is where we find out that Max was saving battery. And just sprints away from us. We should be good. We're in his DRS. Kept Stroll at bay there. Yes, we did. He's under pressure from Leclerc now. Seem to have caught up somewhat with the Mercs. Well, I think Max's engine is in better condition than ours. Why was George so slow there? Because it was a delayed reaction to us getting in a position where the team order would kick in and tell him to move over for Lewis. I was hoping it would kick in with Max stuck behind him, and then we could just go past the pair of them, but it didn't. It actually accelerated him through that corner, and then he pulled over to let Lewis through, by which point Max had already got back past us, and then both of us went flying through. That's why. But yeah, we gave the order for George to pull over because he is going to the end. Lewis is not. Lewis still needs to make another stop, so we have to get Lewis in front, otherwise it would destroy his chances of getting on the podium. It was a tactical decision that didn't quite pull off. Max is really slow at the moment. The point where he's actively holding us up now. Right, we're going to try and blitz past him here.
Pressure on, you can do this.
We need to break away from him ASAP.
Push and hold it, overtake. Copy.
Should get a nice run here. Sold him a dummy.
This is awesome work, Lewis. Come on.
And there we go. So we've got Hamilton into the lead. He's going to have to drive really hard now because see, we're stopping in just, what, half a dozen laps or so. And then he's going to be at the back of the train. He'll have to fight his way all the way through again. He is in absolutely good confidence though, so that will help. If I can get Russell in front of Max, even better. Right, we can turn that off now. We've broken away from Max's DRS.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
That's going to leave him vulnerable to Russell.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Yep. And you are the fastest on track.
There we go, new fastest lap for Lewis.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
He needs to be scampering away. What are the chances of Lewis getting P2? Improved now that we're ahead of Max. But still tricky. Still very tricky. And let's see. He is currently going to come out last if he were to box right now, or there or thereabouts. A few more laps and he'll be able to start getting in front of Schumacher, and then it's a case of getting in front of, you know, Joe and Piastri and Norris, and then it's just less cars to have to overtake. His confidence is high right now, very high, and he's in the peak band right now, which is giving him a really strong bonus to his cornering and his braking and his accuracy as well, so that'll help improve his pace. And he'll be on brand new softs as well. And if Max does somehow try and go to the end, which I really don't think he'll be able to do, he's just going to get picked off and just plummet on the order. So expect Max to box for softs as well. But we've got a 3-second gap now, which is good. You know, we need as big a gap as possible. We don't want to have to fight Max while we're fighting our way through the field. And we're forcing Max to drive very defensively at the moment, which is stopping him from unleashing his potential pace, which is why we're pulling away from him so nicely. And we're saving a little bit of tyre in the process, so that we're in better condition than everybody else behind who is also going to the end. As you can see, we are looking very good tyre-wise at the moment against Stroll and Leclerc and Tsunoda and Ocon. And Perez as well, who is also, I think, going to the end. Right, Max is trying to up his pace a little bit. Again, we're going with him. Isn't the danger of Lewis pushing so hard he will fall off the cliff with a tyre towards the end of the race? Well, yeah. That's why I downed him from, you know, maximum push to, you know, to the next level down, just to prolong the life of the medium he's on right now. And then, you know, we're not going to, you know, exhaust the soft tyre. But we're opening up a gap, as you can see. We're now clear of Ricciardo and Schumacher in terms of the pit stop. We're probably clear of Norris and potentially Piastri and Joe as well. So we're looking now, I think, a pit stop will bring us out probably behind Hulkenberg. And if we can just keep building this gap... Oh, wow. Verstappen is really pushing, trying to catch up.
happy to pick up the pushing level.
Covering.
He's trying to break away from Russell, which he is doing successfully, and hunting down Lewis. So he's on full push right now, tyres and battery. So we are going to have to deal with Max still. Alright, pit window opens next lap. Leclerc gets past Stroll. And we're kind of just about around Hulkenberg and Magnussen for a pit stop now. So we're not too far away from jumping the Haas's. Or, you know, coming out and still in front of the Haas's. Where do we know that vehicle? Oh, Canadian. Impressionist. 82. Decent run. So that's seeing a picture of him. I don't know if I could place him off the top of my head, but I know the name. I probably will have seen some of this stuff when I was younger. There we go, Russell back in range, and we have just about burnt off the excess fuel. There we go, so back in DRS range. Let's stop pushing. Let's go all-out attack for 2 laps for Lewis.
So it's hammer time.
It is hammer time. I think we're clear of Magnussen now. So by the time we finish this push, we might be able to get out in front of Bottas. Russell putting Max under pressure. This is good. This is going to cause Verstappen to have to drive defensively again. And again, we're just saving a little bit of extra life in the tyre in these hards. Going to the inside. Side by side with Max. And that'll give Max a DRS on this back straight here. So he'll retake the position.
Nice work.
Well, we held the position. We actually held them off in the braking zone. I did not expect that. Right, so Lewis now clear of Gasly and Bottas. So he's going to come out in 10th. And we are going to box Lewis this lap.
Go box.
If we're really lucky, we might even be able to jump Ocon. If we're really lucky.
Make sure keep these tyres in good nick. Okay.
All right, here we go. Last stop for Lewis was a bad one. Let's see if we can get a good one this time. There we go, 2.1. That's good.
So we track on exit.
Here comes the field. Oh, we're right behind Gasly. No, we're ahead of Gasly. We're right behind Ocon. So we almost jumped Ocon. We're in 9th place.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Understood.
George has dropped Max. So Max will not be getting a tow from George anymore. I'm just going to
So happy to
push
now.
George for a lap.
Understood.
Just to really open that gap back up a bit. And when I say push, I'm going to put his tyres on normal and give him some battery for a lap. Right, Lewis is into DRS range. Let's just charge him up while his tyres are coming up to
Charge that
temperature.
Understood.
I bet I'd prefer a fight than to just stroll away or race. Yeah, I'd like to have a real tactical battle with the AI. I like to be able to put one over on them with strategy. Which is what we're trying to do with Max here. He still hasn't boxed, but he's going to be boxing soon. Those tyres now down to 43%. Bottas will be in soon, as will Hulkenberg. Norris is in now. So yeah, we're into a little flurry of activity over the next couple of laps. And Verstappen now under pressure from Leclerc and Stroll and his teammate Perez.
And just charge the pack.
Yep.
And that's Lewis up to 8th. Confidence back into very high peak confidence again. And we're going to push him for a new fastest lap
Use the
while we
overtake.
have DRS to play with.
Just close up.
Because we want to make sure that Max
And think
doesn't
about it, it's really
doesn't get the fastest lap when he puts on his new sets of boots. once again. Alonso's going to hold us up. That's annoying. So we'll just go around the outside through the sweepers. Oh, beautiful stuff. Has cost us the ability to get onto the back of Sonoda in DRS there. Oh, maybe not. Did we somehow manage to sneak DRS there? No, not quite. It was close though, very close. Can we get him before the corner? Again, no. So this is not going to be a particularly quick lap. I'm going to start saving fuel and tyres. We'll back him off for another lap. Rebuild that battery.
Just have a think about getting the pack back up.
And Max has boxed. And where is he? Where is Max? No, Max has not boxed. He's still out there. And you can see we are just 7 seconds behind. Less than that. We're only 6 seconds behind Max already with Hamilton. And he's staying out. Don't tell me he's going to go to the end. So what are my chances of getting Hamilton into second? Pretty good. He's only 6 seconds off of second right now. But we will hold him back behind Russell. We won't let him attack Russell. That's his punishment for putting it in the wall in qualifying and costing me an absolute bloody fortune. Not just in sponsorship money, but in the cost of replacement parts and emergency manufacturing, and the fact that I'm going to have to buy him a new engine, probably, definitely a new ERS unit, potentially a new gearbox as well. Yeah, that's his punishment. He's not allowed to attack George this race. Laps to go, and Max has still not boxed, and he's now just 4.5 seconds ahead of Hamilton. I'm still clinging onto my Christmas child, apparently. Very magnanimous of you there, Farah. I'm even throwing in a fancy word for you. Alright, Perez has got passed into second and is now just 3 seconds off the back of Russell. Looks like he's pushing. Yeah, he went a second faster than Russell on that last lap. We've got plenty of tyre in hand to see off the charge of Perez. We've got fuel to play about with. We've got battery that's being rebuilt. And we've got time on our side as well. Max does not have time on his side. Speaking of time, it's time for us to push Lewis for another fastest lap run.
So head down.
Let's ride the ham cam. That's Max, right in front of Stroll. We've made up an entire pit stop of time to Max in just a few laps. Now, can we get both of them here? We've got Stroll. Might be a little too far back for Max, unless we can get him under braking. He's still not boxing. Now we'll just say, see you later, Max. And there we go. Right, Perez is within a second. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
So currently P4.
Maxed out confidence, purple. Best lap of a 1:30.7, and that was the lap we've just done, which is plenty fast enough, I think. So let's calm those tyres back down again. Let's save the fuel again.
We just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
I was looking at the wrong car. Now we're already all over the back of Charles Leclerc. And in the space of a straight, Max is now a second and a half behind us. Well, I say straight, maybe half a lap. So yeah, we've just left him for dead. So he's going to box, he's going to come out another 20 seconds further back. Yeah, he's not catching Lewis. We've completely outclassed Max today. And Max still hasn't boxed. Don't tell me he's going to the end. He can't. Surely not.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
He's at 32%. What is going on with Max? Well, at this rate, I could probably box Hamilton again and come back out on more soft tyres and get back into second. Russell now coming under pressure from Perez. Perez's tyres at 48%. We've got a big disparity there in our favour when it comes to available rubber, even if his is a quicker compound. So we just have to see him off for the next few laps until those tyres burn out. We'll take the DRS, thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. There's only so much I can do.
Oh, Leclerc sneaks back ahead while I was in full recharge. Okay, we can stop saving fuel again. Let's put the tyre back up a little bit more.
And we can drop the lift and coast for now, we'll pick it up later.
Go back into full deploy and let's go join the party at the front of the field.
Charge the pack.
Yeah.
I wonder if Perez is going to box. There's Lewis. So this has been a very interesting visual experiment in a way to show the difference in pace of the tyres. And also just what you can achieve when you give a driver who's got very high confidence a set of brand new tyres. Max finally boxes. But all those overtakes are going to chip away at his confidence level, assuming that he has a confidence level. I'm assuming the AI drivers have confidence levels as well. So he's not going to be in tip-top shape right now. He's going to come out behind Magnussen and he should make... Oh, no, he's going to come outside. Yeah, he got jumped by Magnussen, but he should make quick work of him. But then he's got another 9 seconds to go to get on the back of Gasly. So we're now 26 seconds ahead of Max.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up. So we are low on battery at the moment.
Alright, so will Perez box? 40% tyres. Bottas is at 23% on those mediums. He is running the risk of a penalty, not a penalty, a puncture if he doesn't box soon. So we'll see if he does dive in. I'm assuming he will do with his tyres in that state. He's going to hold off Piastri. But only just. Does he box? Yes, he does. Back to the front. There's Lewis. There's Perez. Oh, Bottas
Now
is a
what
pit stop
happened there,
issue.
Karun?
It's Valtteri Bottas who's pitting. Ah, but something's not right. Oh dear.
Perez going defensive. Hamilton's in range as well now. All over for Perez. And Perez does box. And there we go. That's it. That's the 1-2. So, I'm just going to bring it home.
Need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick. Need to look after the car.
Just reduce your speed.
We've got an 8-second, over an 8-second lead. Perez is ahead of Verstappen. This is how badly Verstappen has screwed up here today. He's 5 seconds behind his teammate. And the same people in the chat who were dissing Hamilton yesterday, saying he was too old, didn't have the pace. and then watched him get get a win in the sprint and a win in the feature, and showing blistering pace tonight, and now praising him for blistering pace. I did say he was quick. It's not going to be a walkover for George this season. By the same token, it's not going to be all one-way traffic for Lewis. Verstappen's doing 131.9 at the moment. I wouldn't dream of including you in that, Farah. Yeah, 131.9. It's not quick, really, considering the tyres he's on. But it's certainly quick enough to hunt down Ocon, who is hanging onto the back of his teammate by the look of it. We'll try, yep. It's 4.5 seconds to the two Alpines. They haven't quite had the same level of pace tonight. Got to give a huge shout out to Yuki Tsunoda, who is still in the top 5 right now, although he is under pressure from Alonso. What a drive for Yuki this weekend. Especially considering his exploits at Baku. He's got a decent amount of tyre life left as well, so it's not like he's just clinging on barely. He's up there on merit. And if Albon hadn't crashed, this could have been really big points for Williams today. I know it's only a game, Mr. Walker. I'm just having fun with the chat. Leclerc is closing, but given how much we've reeled our pace in for these closing laps, that's not surprising. He's still a long way off, but we can always just turn it back up a bit if we need to. As Alonso does get alongside and past Yuki. That's a shame, but it's not over yet. There's still a few laps to go. Yuki's still in DRS range. Although here comes Perez, just a couple of seconds back. Max now 2 seconds off the back of Ocon, who has dropped off the back of his teammate. They're on the same tyres, a little bit of a disparity between them, but not much. Only a couple of percent. Look at lap times. Perez a 130.8. See, that's the pace that Max should be doing. And Max does a 131.1. So I'm wondering if Max is maybe... I don't think he had a collision with anyone. I don't think he's got any damage. Maybe it's just his engine is finally starting to give up a little bit. EA Sports is just a game that doesn't stop full grown men smashing at their TVs. This is true. This is true. People who do that have more money than sense, but that's kind of fortunate, really, because they need a lot of money if they're going to keep smashing up expensive flat screen TVs and expensive game controllers. Let them fight? No, not going to let them fight. We've deliberately been a little bit more cautious with George because of the situation. So it wouldn't be a fair fight. Hamilton, with his confidence level, the fact that he's got more life in his tyre, and a compound that's 2 compounds faster, means he would just blitz past Russell. You know, wouldn't be a fair fight. And as I say, I'm punishing Hamilton for, you know, costing me millions, and I do mean millions this race weekend. He's cost me probably about 4 million in sponsor income, if not more, including, you know, when you include the penalties on top of that, plus another 2 million, 3 million in parts, plus, you know, just for the emergency manufacturers, plus the new engine components I'm going to have to shell out for later in the season, which is another 8.5 million. So yeah, Hamilton has cost me, you know, the GDP of a small country this weekend. So he's going to have to settle for second. I'm not going to further, you know, that blatant cost of money by then rewarding him with a $500,000 bonus for winning the race. He can get stuff. As Stroll and Leclerc are scrapping, and they've dropped back as a result of that. Perez is now caught the back of these two. He's flying. Verstappen has only just got passed off, and he's still behind Gasly. Perez is showing how it's done. Maybe all that tequila has worked, Mr. Marco. I'm sorry, Dr. Marco. Might not have seen it, but I hope my inference there to, you know, visualise the air quotes that I was popping under Dr. Marco. I thought for a second Perez was about to take both of them, but then Stroll just pulled back out again.
Three remaining.
3 laps to go. Verstappen has now just about cleared Gasly. I feel sorry for Tsunoda because he's going to lose another position now. Potentially 2 if Gasly is dragged up the order a little bit on the back of Max. He's hanging with him at the moment as Max closes in on Yuki. So this could be bad for Yuki. Perez is about to jump himself onto the bottom step of the podium. Along the outside. And that's the move complete. So let's keep an eye on Yuki. Gasly is still just in DRS range. Oh, this is close. This is really close. If Gasly gets DRS here, that's real trouble for Yuki. I think he's not going to get it. Maybe Tsunoda, he's going to get overtaken here, but maybe he can ride the back of Max back onto Alonso.
2 remaining.
He'll get the DRS here. Come on, stay in range. Stay in range. Ah, he didn't stay in range. And I think Max got onto the back of Alonso. Yeah, he did. Oh, we lost the fastest lap. Valtteri Bottas took the fastest lap. Oh, that's annoying because I can't respond. I don't think. Well, I'm going to have a try with George, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, copy.
Maybe I can.
Just keep the pressure on Lewis. You can do this.
Maybe I can do it with Lewis. Getting the slipstream.
Use the overtake.
He's still not allowed to overtake George. So, I mean, if I lose the fastest lap point, I lose the fastest lap point. It's not like anyone else is getting it. Bottas is not going to be scoring that point because he's not in the top 10. I'm not expecting to see any purple sectors. Oh, personal best from George. But Lewis behind is not improving at all, so this to me suggests that while this will be a quick lap, it will not be fastest lap material. 1:31.0 for Bottas on that last lap. Oh, we did! We did steal it back. Hamilton got the fastest lap. 1:30.2.
Russell wins it! First over the line!
Okay, for this, so that's a P2.
Great effort. Thank you so much.
There we go. So, Max in the end
Well done, Lewis.
managed to
Great job
get
today,
back
mate.
up to 6th. Perez got himself onto the podium ahead of Leclerc, then Stroll right behind him. So those two were scrapping all the way to the end. Tsunoda hangs on for 8th, staying ahead of Gasly and then Ocon, who round out the top 10. So more points for Alpine. Then it's Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Joe, Norris, Piastri, Bottas, who thought for a second he might have scored the fastest lap. Only for us to go, nah, forget it. And then the two AlphaTauris of Ricciardo and Schumacher. So a lot of cars in sequence there, or close to sequence if they're not quite there. Farah's doing a little jig for Russell winning. There is our race winner.
Have to say, George Russell looked excellent out there.
What a brilliant race that was for the team. They just did everything right, the driver included, of course.
Pure elation there as the driver regroups with a team that worked so hard to see this moment. And up he goes, George Russell joining the podium lineup after a memorable Grand Prix.
And that's excellent, seeing both the team's drivers up there on the podium together.
And after a hot and sweaty Miami Grand Prix, I think this is as good a time as any to cool off. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And with that, our weekend in Miami now draws to a close.
Now the teams will be looking ahead to Imola, where the season progresses with the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Get ready for some fierce competition.
Okay, confirmation of the final result. George Russell wins the Miami Grand Prix. Lewis in second, getting the fastest lap from George on the final lap there. And gaining 8 places as well to recover back up to second. Perez climbs onto the podium for the first time this season. Charles Leclerc just missing out on his first podium of the season. Stroll hangs on for 5th. Max recovers to 6th, but threw away the chance of a really strong finish tonight and another podium place by just staying out for way too long on those mediums. Should have boxed around the same time that Lewis did, or even when Checo did, really, at the absolute latest. Alonso, a good recovery drive from him, gaining 7 places, taking advantage of the safety car to get himself back up the order after a poor qualifying for him. Got a feel for Yuki, was running very high at one point, was up in 4th place, I think, at one point. Able to hang on to 8th place for some points, but could have been more. And then the Alpines rounding out the top 10, picking up some more points for them. Decent recovery drive for Norris, but again, that McLaren is still nowhere nowhere at all, really. Good race for Bottas, who gets 3 places gained and showed a little bit of pace at the end of the Grand Prix there. 30.7 his fastest lap, just missing out on the fastest lap overall. And then it's the 2 AlphaTauris bringing up the field behind or ahead of a retiring Alex Albon, who crashed out. Let's have a look at the drivers' standings. So Russell extends his lead over Lewis, so the gap now back up to 19 points. Max in 3rd, but his teammate closes the gap just a little bit. He's now 16 points behind Max. Leclerc and Stroll both jump a place in the standings with their points finishes after a disappointing race for Ocon, you would have to say, given how much pace he's shown in the earlier parts of the season. Good points for Alonso after a poor qualifying, as we said. Carlos, again, another race with no points for Carlos Sainz. Where did Carlos finish? Oh, he retired, didn't he? He crashed. We didn't scroll down far enough. I was wondering why I hadn't seen his name in the standings. So yeah, another poor race for Carlos. He has just 16 points after 5 Grand Prix and a sprint. That is really bad. And if this were real life, he should be very worried about his seat. Norris in 11th place in the standings, no additional points for him. Yuki Tsunoda jumping all the way up to 13th with those 4 points for him, above his teammate, above Hülkenberg, Bottas and Piastri. Zhou gaining a couple of places on positional count back there, and that drops the 2 AlphaTauris to last place in the standings. Let's take a look at the constructors. So another maximum haul for us. We are now 109 points clear. 109 points clear of Red Bull. This is turning out to be a very comfortable season for us. Aston Martin do jump ahead of Alpine into 3rd place. Alpine just staying ahead of Ferrari, but only just. They are neck and neck on points, but Alpine are edging them on the fact that Ocon has a podium and neither Ferrari driver does. Williams jumping 2 places up to 6th place, ahead of McLaren and ahead of Haas. Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri still yet to score. Let's take a look at the pit stop challenge. We got the fastest 2 pit stops, but the gap is coming down in terms of times between us and the competition. They are starting to catch us up a bit. So we can't expect to hold on to this 1-2 status for too much longer. As Red Bull and McLaren will start getting themselves in the mix, as you can see. But we're looking very comfortable right now. 101 points clear of Red Bull after just 5 weekends. And they see the fastest stops. We had a 2.111 was the fastest stop for George. Lewis's stop just 29 thousandths slower, and he did have that stuck wheel nut on his first stop. So a bit more training to do for our guys to try and eliminate some of these mistakes, as we're getting probably one a race at the moment, which is not ideal. Actually, I want to see how much overtaking Lewis did in that race. So we had 3 successful overtakes, 11 failed for George. He kept it nice and steady, didn't really have to work too hard, was just nice and consistent with his pace, and then made the moves when he needed to. Hamilton had a much busier afternoon, as you can see. 18 successful overtakes, 13 failed, 5 successful defences, just 1 failed. A good recovery drive from Lewis there. And we did get some more points for Teo as well. But here's the damage. We lost nearly $1 million in sponsor income today. 860,000. We failed with our qualifying position guarantee, and we broke the quali streak on its final race week as well. So on top of all of the damage expenses that we went through, that's another, chunk of cash that it's cost us. And when you factor in the money we could have won, you're adding in another $3.5 million on top of that. So yes, it's been financially a very painful weekend indeed. Mr. Water says this game seems just as easy as the previous one. Well, I'm a veteran player who knows exactly what I'm doing. But this time we're at a top team rather than a team at the bottom of the pile. So yeah, we're going to be up there quickly because I know how to develop the car, and I like to think I'm very good at the race strategy. But it wouldn't be that simple if we were in a team like Alpha or either of the Alpha teams. I think McLaren you could possibly turn around reasonably well. Because they do have decent facilities and they have Lando Norris. Williams have got a car that isn't that bad, and I think swapping out Stroll for someone like Schumacher would see an instant improvement right from day one. And then again, the right upgrades, you could get Williams consistently in the points throughout the first season. So yeah, I think the game is still a little easy, but it's not as easy as it was. We're in a much stronger team this time around than we were on the last game, which kind of warps things a little bit. But when those big regulation changes hit, which they will do in a season or two time, there'll be a big sweeping change, probably at the end of 2025. It'll be a massive change to all the stats. We will be, in a much worse team, and we'll see what happens. It could be more of a challenge that time. Right, let's deal with our inbox situation. So, car inspection. We destroyed quite a few parts, thanks to crashing. We have got a new ATR period, which is good. We'll look at investing those hours into something. New front wing design is complete, and I accidentally went ahead and emergency manufactured one thinking that was what I needed to, and it was the wrong wing. So we have one of those in stock already, and we have a spare rear wing as well. Okay, so let's go to manufacturing, and let's normal develop some new front wings. Let's go with 5 front wings because they're quite lightweight, so they're not amazingly durable. They will wear out reasonably quickly. As you can see, this will give us a bit of a boost to acceleration and improve our cornering downforce at the expense of a little bit of loss in dirty air performance, but not much. And it will give us a nice boost to our brake cooling as well. So that's the kind of impact it'll have on George's car there. And you'll see it'll improve the high speed up by 1 rank and the brake cooling by 2 ranks. Not bad. Not bad at all. We'll make 5 of those to go with the one that we've already got. So we've got 4 spares and 2 to put on the cars. Because it'll be a little while, I think, before we do another front wing project. And let's have a look at what we can build next. So we're on a Mark II underfloor. We're on a Mark to rear wing. Which one of those do I want to work on next? I have just made a load of spare rear wings. So I think maybe an underfloor. Could always do a bit of research. Our car is pretty strong right now. As you can see, every part is going to be affected next season by 10% across all areas of the car. So no matter what we do, we're going to see some losses in performance across the grid next season. But obviously the teams with the most performance are going to lose more because the percentages will be higher. So it should theoretically bring the grid a little bit closer together at the end of this season when the new regs kick in. Let's see. Do I want to do research now or do I want to wait? Let's go ahead and do a little bit more development. Let's do a new rear wing. Sorry, a new underfloor. So we'll pump some hours in. There we go. So there go all the hours. We'll tweak the lifespan down to 2 to 4. We'll up the drag reduction just a touch. Again, we want to try and boost our acceleration. And let's maybe up the downforce a little bit. We'll actually take a bit of the sensitivity down like that to boost the downforce. I'd like to improve the low speed a bit more. Let's go with that. Take just a touch off. We'll do that. Yeah, let's go with that. So, 43 days with one engineer. Let's see, when do we want this to be available? We want it for Spielberg at the latest. So, let's go... let's go 4 engineers. And it gives us 20 days from completion to manufacture at least 2 of them before the Austrian Grand Prix. Hopefully we can get a couple of, at least a spare in there as well. We're not going to intense this. We're just going to stay on normal. We've got 74.1 mil of our cost cap remaining after allocating this project, and we're not even close to halfway through the season yet, so we can't go overboard. But I am going to start working on a little bit of research. So let's do some straight research. No favoritism to any particular aspect of the car because all aspects are going to be hampered. And let's do 2 engineers per project. We've just done a front wing, so let's do some research for another one. Again, every aspect is going to get a 10% reduction, so we're not going to up or down any of those sliders. We'll just leave them all completely balanced. We'll go to engineers. And let's do a rear wing as well. Same again, leave the sliders alone. We can't afford a rear wing. That will actually put us over. How much cash do we actually have? I don't think we've got enough cash left to do anything. Yeah, we're out of cash. So, no more projects. We do have more funds coming in just a couple of days though, so we will pick that back up in a second. Oh, George is out of contract at the end of the season. Both drivers are out of contract. Oh, okay. Could be very busy end of the season for us if we have to fill those slots, like I saw on Reddit. That'll make things interesting. Oh, excuse me. Right. I can't even afford to refurb the boardroom. I'm £6,000 short. So we'll save the money. Let's skip forward. There we go. So we've now got some money in the bank. We'll go back to car development and start that final research project. There we go. 2 engineers done. Design center needs a refurb. That's 4.4 mil. Okay. Race sim needs a refurb. That is affordable. Let's do the race. Oh, wait. Am I building those missing side pods? Yes, I am. Okay, so don't have to worry about that. That's good. Are there any other parts I do need to build? I've got spare chassis, I've got spare front wings coming, I've got spare side pods coming, and suspension. Did I see suspension? Yes, I got spare suspensions coming as well. So yes, we can go ahead and let's refurb our race sim. There we go. And how much do I need to fully upgrade the team hub? 6.5. Okay, that's a little way off yet. Alright, so that is a breakdown of where our car sits at the moment with the parts that are on it. Engine cooling still not great, but this is based on car 1 performance, so it'll be a little different because I think I forget who's got the better side pods, but those values could change a little bit. Let's see. Financial report, we are still in the black. That's good. Board confidence, they still have high confidence in us. And delighted with the result of Miami, if maybe not the way that we had to go to get to that result. Or at least I'm not particularly thrilled with that either. Let's have a look at our driver development updates. So, George's adaptability is now maxed at 99 and his accuracy is improved as well. No improvement for Lewis. He's reaching that point in his career where updates to his stats are going to be very few and far between. But some improvement for Teo. He gets a boost to his overtaking and 2 points boosted on his defending. Let's have a look at maybe changing George's training focus a little bit. Is there something else we could do to boost his cornering and braking while moving away from adaptability? Let's braking control. Well, let's go to that. Let's go to wheel-to-wheel racing. That'll improve his braking and his control, which is always good. It'll improve his overtaking, which is one of his weakest stats. And his defending will potentially get a boost as well. And there's no 99s for us to worry about, wasting time on. We'll keep Lewis as he is. We'll keep Teo as he is. Let's sort out the training schedule for the pit crew for the next calendar month. So we have a slight chance of making a mistake. Increasing. Let's take a bit more time away from car building to deal with those. Let's take that session out there. Let's turn this one into a pit stop drill. We'll go car release. There we go. We could really do with some used tyre off training as well. So I think we're just going to scrap car building altogether, potentially. Use tyres off, there we go. Actually, if I switch that to a gym period, and we'll have 1 day of car building. Okay. Yeah, that works for me. All right, pit crew is done. 9 days to go till Imola. And we'll pick that back up next week. That is the end of our stream for tonight and the end of our streaming for the week. I'll be back on Monday with the next round, round 6 at Imola in Italy. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Usual time, 9 p.m. UK time in the evening. So until then, have a good weekend. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.